Iowa Department of Education found the Sioux City Community School District hadn't fulfilled its duty to a student in its special education program. KTIV's Connor Trett is in studio tonight to tell us more. And so, Connor, what does the Department of Education say happened here?
Well, Matt, the Sioux City Community School District has lost a case in front of the Iowa Department of Education. The department says that the district violated a student with special needs' individualized education program, also known as an IEP.
Ninth grader Caden Schmidt's individualized education program grants him one-on-one nursing throughout the school day to constantly monitor his health.
He was diagnosed with a rare neurological condition called hydranencephaly. And part of that, he has seizures. And due to the complexity of his medical diagnosis, it makes him deemed as medically fragile, which requires him to have one-on-one nursing due to him being dependent upon everyone else for all of his needs.
The Iowa Department of Education has ruled that the Sioux City Community School District violated Schmidt's IEP. In September 2021, Schmidt's nurse, which was provided by a third-party service, had moved away, leaving him without a replacement for one-on-one nursing. According to the IEP, the school district would then provide a one-on-one nurse if this issue were to ever come up. However, the district admitted it couldn't provide one for over a year, citing a staffing shortage, leaving Schmidt to take online Zoom classes in the meantime, which his family says caused his education to suffer.
The district arranged for that kind of education, but it was really just 2 Zoom sessions a day. They were using the free version of Zoom, which limits calls to 40 minutes. So the calls were anywhere from 15 to 30, 40 minutes at max. That was his education for about a year.
Since he has an IEP, he doesn't get normal grades. It's all progress monitoring. He has a communication, a math, a reading, and a writing goal. And since there was no data that they were able to collect off of it, there was no progress that was made. So as a result, they're saying since there was 0 progress, he needs to repeat the 9th grade.
And after a year, his parents filed a state complaint with the Iowa Department of Education.
And during the hearings, it was actually revealed that this was not an isolated case with the Sioux City School District. Rather, the district openly admitted to the Iowa Department of Education that there were multiple students with special needs with similar IEP requirements that were not being met.
The district represented to us that there are a number of students in the Siouxland community that do require one-on-one nursing services and have not been provided them because of this staffing shortage. We think that this decision here on behalf of KS likely will have further reaching consequences for other students that may be in a similar position.
The Iowa Department of Education ruled in favor of Schmidt, saying, quote, "While the department understands a staffing shortage is a challenge many are facing that cannot be easily solved, the delay in meaningfully addressing the problem for more than a year did not show due diligence," end quote. In its ruling, the Education Department said the district would be required to find a way to return Schmidt to in-person school by the start of the 2023-24 school year. The school district is also required to provide the Education Department with a full list of students who also require one-on-one nursing as stated in their IEPs, and Schmidt's family may be able to seek financial compensation from the district.
Our main point we wanted to make or help was all those other individuals that are like Caden and his position that require the one-on-one nursing. I think that this win is going to help open the door for those families to be able to speak out and come forward.
We reached out to the Sioux City Community School District for comment, and while a spokesperson declined an on-camera interview, they did send a statement reinforcing its commitment to serving all of its students, saying, quote, "Each student's situation is unique. Like many other schools, we require creativity and flexibility from our existing employees and from the families we serve in light of the realities of both the resources and qualified staff that are available to respond to medically complicated situations. The district will continue to work closely with families and the Department of Education to ensure that students with disabilities receive a free and appropriate public education."